Ife, a quick question, right?
Okay.
I just want to read this question real quick.
Okay.
What's the weirdest thing you believed as a kid that turned out to be completely false?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I remember one.
Mm.
So, when I was a baby,
Mm.
I have this kind, like when I like something,
Yeah.
I'm usually all about it. Like I don't want to eat anything else. So I remember then that I really like Gary, drinking it, eating it raw and
For
everything.
those that don't know Gary, that's Casa Flakes, right?
Yeah.
For this part of the world.
So my mom, my brothers are like, this thing will grow on your head. So I don't know how this happened. And my brothers, I have to question you about this. One night I went to sleep. The following morning, I woke up with cassava flakes in
No
my
way.
hair, like at the roots.
Are you serious?
So I was just like, I had to dust it down. So I was like, oh, this thing is
It's
true.
great, actually.
So
my
yeah.
God. Oh my God. So I think I had a similar experience, right? Myself and my younger brother, in fact, I've used it to talk a couple of times. Myself and my younger brother, one time, we just sat and, we came into our genius state and we thought, why do people stress themselves? I mean, if you plant maize, you reap maize, right? If you plant mango, you reap mango. Why don't they plant biscuits? Like, is it that nobody has thought about it? And I used to like biscuits and yogurt then. So, like, the next biscuit and yogurt will buy. Remember, I said my younger brother applying this thing. We will not eat it. We will invest it. We'll invest it in the ground. So we are still waiting for the returns. So the returns are yet to come.
Don't worry, it will come. It will come.
God will bring it to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode on Trends. My name is Nakali, and with me today I'm joined by, of course, the ever smiling, ever amazing Ife Olua, which, of course, we'll fight. We still have a fight here and now, but it's always good to have her in the studio. And today on the show, we have a special guest. I'm going to be handing over to Ife to do proper introduction.
Okay.
Because they are doing girl power things.
Yes,
right?
so yes. I'm very, very happy to do the introduction because today is going to be girl power or true. So guys, if you want to help out, just come to the comments.
I trust my guys.
Otherwise, it's going to be on a hot seat throughout this show. But okay, let me just go on. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So we have with us, first, let's start with the name. The beautiful.
My God.
The
delectable.
Exactly. Adiola Adepoju. So I'm going to read just a short bio so we can understand who we have with us here. Like, it's an honor. We are happy to have you here. So she's a registered nurse, content creator. Wow. And she recently started a media company, Metamorph. Is that correct?
Yeah, Metamorph.
Okay, Metamorph Media, where they render a range of services from content creation, social media management, web design, branding, digital marketing, and event coverage for both brands and individuals. Wow. This is really amazing.
Thank you.
We have in our midst a colossus.
My head don't sweat.
Amazing. It's so good to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
So tell us, what was your own, did you have any childhood, maybe belief that turned out to be fallacy?
Okay, so for me, I was very smart growing up. So
Nice one.
I put you on my side.
I'm somewhere on the fence. I should be happy or angry because you shared all of us, but I forgive you.
Oh my God.
I was really smart growing up. I was from when I was a baby. But one thing that I heard one time like this was one girl, she said that she thought that the water that comes out at the back of the AC, the outlet of the AC, was the people's sweats inside. That was what.
But that makes a lot of sense. I could have believed that if I heard it then, because I was just okay. Where is water coming from?
Yes, that is everybody sweats that the AC is drying up and it's taking it outside. But
I mean, it's crazy.
That's
Growing up, most of those things that we thought or that were told, those things we believed, most of them were not so accurate. But it was beautiful believing them. I think one of the beauty of childhood is the innocence that comes with it. Right?
True,
that innocence to believe anything. And it's it's one of the things that even God expects. That's why, of course, we're not supposed to be childish, but we're supposed to be childlike in the sense that we must sustain the flexibility. A child, I was sharing with you guys earlier, so let me just share with you guys. They don't move me very well in this life. Right? So I was in, I think I would be, that should be about primary 4, primary 5. I had this classmate. I'll call his name, but not his full name. So I even will not search him on Facebook. But his name was Isaac, you know, and Isaac was he was this kind of tech was not such a thing then as it is now, right? But he was tech savvy. He was the technology guy. He was always, you know, those things that you get the motor of a device, that thing that used to turn, you know, that thing, all of us did it. You now put battery with the wire, it will not be turning. You connect something to it, it will be turning. In your mind, you have made you have made fan or something. So he was always doing all those stuff. His bag, he always had wires and all those things. So I just felt like, oh, this guy is the next Albert Einstein or something, you know. So he told me there was this cartoon I used to watch then. Those of you, that generation that watch Cartoon Network, you will know this cartoon. The name is Dexter's Lab, right?
I know it.
So I used to like Dexter's Lab there because, you know, Dexter was a young boy that was a scientist, and he literally had a whole studio. No, it's the what am I saying? He had a whole what's it called now? A lab in his wardrobe, right? And he had spaceships, rockets, and all this kind of thing. And bro, it used to blow my mind. And then Jesus, I've called his name. Isaac calls me and says, do you know that I have a rocket in my house? I say, where? I say, in my wardrobe. I have a lab. And he described it for me. I was like, shit, this guy is living the American dream. What am I doing to myself? What am I doing in my life? I mean, it was so surreal because it was very easy for me to believe. Now I look back and I'm thinking, how did I even believe it? Because
how did you fall for this?
I mean, even if it is true, if someone tells me that now, the first thing that comes to my mind is a lie. So while that might be me being more cautious and careful, it's also me losing out on the innocence and flexibility. And even in our work with God, there's certain things that we cannot experience until we become childlike, right? Well, until we become easily carryable, malleable in his hands and all of that. I miss my childhood. I don't know that scam. I don't believe it, but I don't doubt it.
True, me too.
you know. And if I wanted, so let me just say this: how many of us, those of you in the comment section, let me know how many of us have been vibing to this song that has been trending, guys. I mean, it's all over the place.
Right.
The favorite part, I can never turn back. It's already too late. Where am I going to? No, I think the best part is the shout. I can never turn back. And I'm like, Lord, where are you from?
Honestly,
You know, it's
where
beautiful to see.
it from?
As yesterday when I checked that song, it was done over 1.8 million views, and it's just been out in say 2 days and all that. That's fascinating.
I'm telling you.
You know, Gaze Baba put out a tweet recently. I think it was today. Was it a tweet or where was that now? Either on Facebook. He put up a post recently and was talking about a prophecy that Pastor Nathaniel Bassey gave during one of the Hallelujah challenge, and that was a song I have decided to follow Jesus and all that. And so this song is born as a fulfillment of prophecy. And look at the way it has moved through the air. It has gone, cut across. Everybody sings on the lips of the young, the old, everybody.
Christians, non-Christians.
I mean. And I'm a sucker for music, right? So for one, it resonates a lot because I mean the beat is mad. Even if you don't want to, once that beat drops, I can never. It's crazy. We would have played it, but the copyright us, so we will not play it. So we just vibe it in our head. Go and watch the movie somewhere. Go and watch the music somewhere. It's so big shout out to big shout out to Pastor Lawrence Oyo. Big shout out to Gaze Baba and to the whole DVD generation team. I mean that was so
Thank you for
amazing.
giving us that sound.
So I didn't know that. So a lot of people actually do not even know that the original song exists. This is a remix.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know too.
This is a remix actually.
So there's
there is the one. Sounds exactly. Just imagine the song without all the Lawrence Oyo parts. All the was not there. Just and it was mad. It was amazing. But you see, God just decided, He was going to breathe upon it, and then and look at how far it's gone.
In fact,
and then. My personal song of the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I know a river that never runs dry. Is a hit back to back. Whenever the brother holds a mic, and that's An Endless Ocean with the song Za. ZA. How many of you have seen that song? Have you heard it?
Sing let me hear.
Shit.
Sing let me hear.
Okay. Oh, yeah, without her, and should we count it? Many, many reasons to call you. Yeah, na, Gaza. When we call your name, you deliver.
Okay, wait. I heard it today. So I have a question on this thing. Music. I think music has to do with preference.
Yes.
Because when he talked about the song, and it was like, very nice, very blah, 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 blah. I checked it out, and I was like,
what? True. I understand. I think music has to do a lot with personalities.
Yes.
I saw was it an experiment now? Someone was trying to draw music. In the sense, what he did was that it was a science experiment, right? He was showing the shape of music, each chord on the keyboard. So what he did was that he put a metal plate on the speaker, and then he put was it sand now, either white sand or salt. I can't remember. It was a white substance that looked powdery, like salt, like that, and he poured it. And the moment he struck a chord, it took a shape, like it took a shape. So each chord had a design. So usually we hear music but we don't see it. So he was trying to show us what music looks like on each chord, and that those vibrations is what. So different people, based on your personality, each vibration hits you differently. So I remember when this song came out, lover of my soul, lover, you know it now, Salem. Ife, what cocoon do you live in? I mean, Sounds of Salem. So when the song came out, right, I liked everything because they featured Muzako on the song. They featured Lawrence Oil also on the song. I love the song generally. I think I know this song. You would know it now. I loved all the song generally, right? But the part that resonated with me was Muzako's part. And I was speaking with, I can't remember who I was speaking with someone, then we're analyzing, and the person made mention of the fact that my personality, I like soulful songs. So songs that are soulful. So as much as the song was a vibey song, his part was soulful. He brought in his own uniqueness. So that was why that part resonated. So everybody, there are people that no matter if you are playing slow song for them, they will sleep off. Give them akpala, give them
something they can vibe to.
And I think that's where it comes in. If you play Victor Reza here now, everywhere scatter. Or if you play Tope Alavida, everywhere scatter. What's that song that does it for you right now?
Recently is this Imolede.
That's another jam. If no be, yes. So I think you're also quite soulful, because that song is quite soulful. It resonates deeply. It's not just vibes. It's deep.
Then another thing is, other than lyrics, the beat also matters.
Yes, true.
So with this song that we're talking about, the one you like your favorite now, the lyrics is good, but the beat is just not like for me. Yes, exactly. For me, it's not eating it for me.
Exactly.
The thing is, first of all, I want to just say that Anelus Ocean's pen game is out of this world. I just have to give it to him. AOE, wherever you are, you ever stumble on this, take your flowers. Take it. You need 2 kilograms of flour. Because your pen game is out of this world. Because one thing I like about his songs, right, is that whenever I listen to his songs, as I'm listening to it, I don't know what he's saying. I'm just chopping. I'm just vibing.
At the moment,
I don't know. I've never discerned any of his songs without looking at the lyrics. Because you're hearing something, I have like. In fact, I had to go, even this song, I had to go back and watch the video, check the lyrics, say, oh, this one was saying. It now even made more sense to me. So I wanted to ask, and this way I want you to call me Adiola. In society today, right, it seems as though what used to be normal, there's been a radical departure from the norm. In fact, there's been a glamorizing around it, in the sense that they now call it the new normal. So things that were, say 10 years ago, things that were normal 10 years ago are now weird. Things that were an abomination 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100, a century ago now are now normal. You know, it's so serious that there are certain things that if you had done before, they had a certain name. Now they have changed the name. What you used to call it before was normal. What they call it now will make you not even want to do it, because it looks like it's a bad thing. So what you have to say about all of this? The whole it's meant to, the matter is long.
Honestly, so for us children of God, it just shows to say that we are doing the right thing. Because like you can just see how much things have changed.
Yeah.
Like for example, now one of the things that you're talking about is like as an abstinence,
Yes.
waiting till marriage.
Yes.
People, if you have that kind of conversation with people, you upset them. What do you mean? What are you saying?
Yes.
I'm supposed to test it before.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
the normal thing. that
Oh,
people
yes.
say.
Yeah.
So what are you trying to say that?
Have you had any of those experiences before?
I've had.
Are you real?
Yes, now.
Please share with
With
us. I
female.
like gist in this place.
Male
No,
or
with okay. So, personally, if you're a young lady, single young lady,
Yeah.
you're dating, then you meet some people, and they're like, me, I cannot wait. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
And also having conversations. I've
Christians.
had, and yeah, even Christians. That one, let's not even
It's
Christians.
true.
Some
It
people-
happens. It
Yes,
happens.
now
It
some people
happens.
don't believe that. What do you mean? And all of that, and it made me believe, like, okay, to some extent. After a while, I now started to understand that it's not because they cannot wait. It's because they've already done some certain things that they should not
Yes.
do.
Yes.
So they're like, they already have like a certain expectation.
Yes.
Do you understand? So now they're like, this thing that they're going into has to match this level of expectation that's
Yeah.
already been set in their
Yeah.
head. So waiting is not the problem for them.
Yeah.
The problem is the fact that, okay, how will I go into this without having to experience what I've been experiencing
Yeah.
before? Like, what's
Yeah.
going to happen to all of those
Yeah.
pleasure
Yeah.
that I used to experience before? Like, do you understand?
I get.
So now I just feel like it shows that we are doing the right thing, like we are on the right track. Because if the world is saying or dancing to a particular tune, children of God, children of God should not do that.
Should go counterculture.
Yeah, we should just do the exact opposite. So I feel like for us, like I won't lie, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Well,
It's just
I
like
cannot bear your grievance. Well, yeah.
married man.
He's doing
I'm
his
just
own
saying.
now.
No. I don't mean to.
He's doing his own now. Please.
I don't mean to brag.
Ah,
I don't mean
okay.
to put it in your
Please,
face.
everybody,
Right.
you can see this.
I'm
So
just
very
saying.
soon.
Eh, okay.
Very
And
soon.
I think also, right, that so this thing, many times, see, guys, girl, usually one of the reasons why people do not have the propensity to want to wait till marriage, abstinence till marriage, is that they don't really want to marry the person. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
When a guy, let's see from the guy's perspective, that
Okay,
even
okay,
girls, when
okay.
a guy is pressuring a girl that he's not married to, even a Christian, for sex, I bet you he doesn't have plans to marry the person. I'm telling you, his plan is to chop and clean mouth and go.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It does some of them
I think
end
the
in
word
marriage.
is pressure.
Yes.
The keyword is pressure. So for any guy that starts putting pressure on you that let's have sex
I'm
before
telling you,
marriage,
he doesn't want
keyword
it.
pressure, not just
And
like
I've
let's
had
do this.
see, when you have done maybe some form of ministry where you have had to counsel people over and over, I've had cases of ladies, you see, you wonder why a breakup is so personal to a lady, so personal that it's affecting her. So and you're like, let him go now, let him go. It's not that deep. Until you now find out that certain things happen, the pressure that anything happened, and he now ran because he has eaten the cookie. You run away.
Run
What's
away,
left,
yeah.
yeah.
So many times I say this, and it's the truth, right? Patience. Anything, there's a difference between speed and rush, right? Once a person begins to exhibit symptoms of rushing, you know that person does not have a goal in mind. That person will hit a brick wall at the end of the day. So when there's pressure from any sex, any of the, it's not because I want to taste you to know how it will be in marriage. It's a lie. Usually, I'm telling you, 70% of those things usually break up. They never get to marriage, and it happens because the person has tasted what you want to taste. When you men, if you know, there's if I start saying men now, this will become men versus women thing. But usually, a lot of the natural man, right? The natural man has a tendency to want to quickly move on from whatever he has conquered. The natural man, man. If you forget, let me not even try to sound churchy. Man, human. Obiri.
Man.
No, Okuri. Okuri. Man, right? I mean, the male man has a tendency to want to move on to the next thing after this has been conquered. I mean, this applies in every aspect of their life, business, career, whatever. What's the next thing? Okay, we have conquered. What's the next thing? So usually, if that man is not someone that is subjected to and submitted to Christ, and his appetite has not been tamed, sexual desires in relationship in itself was created by God. It's not even a wrong, but how it is expressed and when it's expressed is what God is now interested in. When do you express it?
Yes.
The confines is within marriage. So usually when those things come up and the person admits and begins to be an instrument of pressure for the other person that they must engage in this before marriage, usually, I'm telling you, it might look like an unpopular, those kind of questions they ask, that what is that one opinion you have that if you say it, people will have gone to your head. This is it. Most guys that pressure ladies for sex, they don't want to marry them. They don't intend to.
I feel like there are some people that would marry you, but their intention is just like, if it's that marriage thing, men are ready to marry. Have you not seen cases like that in situations where you are saying, oh, you want to wait, oh yeah, now we'll wait with you, they'll wait, and then at the end of the day, when they've gotten what they want, they'll still abscond like usual. So I feel
in
like
the marriage, like after marriage,
I've actually heard a few cases of like that. There's even a gospel artist that shared her story one time and shared how that her own story was that there was a bounty on her head. It was a bet that was placed on her head.
Wow.
They said he cannot bag her, and he did. He got married to her. I think it was on the night of their wedding or something. It's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. I don't know if I'm at liberty to share who the person is.
I have a question for you.
For me?
Yes, for you.
It's not me. It's not me that letter. Me.
No, now you are the spokesperson for your gender.
Who appointed me spokesperson for my gender? Okay, let me hear the question.
Like, I'm wondering about the thought pattern of guys. Like, how do they think? Like, you just sit down, have discussions, and they're like, bet you can't sleep with this person.
Those ones are not born again. They don't have
that. But I feel like it's ego thing. It's an ego thing.
Thank you. That's where I'm going actually, because guys, they do some things and you're like, how do you even come up with
the one that is not born again?
Even the ones that are born again.
Ego. Is in your
no, you have already
no, it's a normal thing.
Well, okay, yes. I think so. Let's be honest. The thing with the male gender is there is what I call necessary pride, necessary ego. In fact, you don't want your husband or your man to not be with ego. There is the ego that is necessary. Okay. Now there's the overstretching of it, right? You don't want a baby as a man, right? You don't want a man that is not firm, that is not a man. When you say man, you think of strength, you think of grit, right? So you don't want someone that is, what now? What do you want? Right? It's you that will be saying, man up now. Right? So that's the thing. So there's necessary pride, which is the necessary ego that makes the man who he is. And usually when that thing is not tamed by the Holy Spirit, it can be overstretched. For example, someone that can bet to get to the extent of marrying a person, that is not just, that's a weapon fashioned against that woman. It is the devil that has partnered. This person has come into some form of partnership with the devil to destroy a person's life. You know the extent of damage it would have caused that woman to have gone through that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's a different case. I cannot speak for those people, but I can speak for Christians. And unfortunately, there are even those that call upon the name of the Lord and still do atrocious things. We have heard the worst. I mean, we have heard crazy. A lot of things have happened. Anything you can think of in this life has happened. Anything you can think of. So I will just say that men are designed with ego naturally. It is a good thing when tamed by the Holy Spirit. Even what we call temperaments in humans. For example, I am primarily phlegmatic, and then with a touch of sanguine, and then choleric. Everybody has a touch of everything. You have a touch of almost everything, but you have a dominant. And I think I'm dominantly phlegmatic.
Okay.
I don't know what yours is, but I can guess.
Okay, guess.
Maybe male son. Right? I'm correct, right?
Yes.
I say no. Did I know you from anywhere?
No.
Can I prophesy?
No,
I'm not a
prophesy,
classroom teacher. Can I go deeper? All right. Sorry, Adiola, you, of course, we spoke about it earlier, so it's not like this is word.
No.
Word from knowledge.
Let's cover. Prophesy.
So Adiola is probably sanguine.
Yeah.
Sanguine with a touch of choleric here and there, right? So usually our temperaments have their pros and cons. For example, as someone that's phlegmatic, they are not very attentive to details. They are not very focused people. That's the truth. If phlegmatic person is not very, he can be doing something nice, carried away by something else. But most creatives are usually phlegmatics. That spontaneity, that burst of energy, adrenaline, the moment
idea.
They are usually very creative people. They are flexible. They are not uptight like a choleric, right? So usually those people, if care is not taken without supervision, they would be failures in life because they cannot be focused. So you see that even our temperament, if we accept it, that say, it's who I am, it's who I am, just we would land in trouble. That's why your Holy Spirit must still tamper your temperament. Someone that is sanguine has tendency to talk and over talk. You talk, even when you're not supposed to talk, you'll not be, hey.
You won't come. But no, Holy Spirit has stayed you. Holy Spirit has stayed you.
I mean, okay, have you ever done something that it was after you had done it, you now be like, shit, bro.
That's like I had to pray for the Holy Spirit to calm me down. When you vex me like this, I'll be hearing Holy Spirit tell me, Jola, calm down. I'll say, Holy Spirit, you said calm down. Holy Spirit, you said calm down. Let me tell this person what's on my mind.
And many times, it's not even because you are a bad person. It's just how you are wired. As a phlegmatic, I like peace. I don't like drama. So if something is going to bring issue, I can be very diplomatic because my temperament. But as I grow in my exposure, even in my leadership, even within church, I realize that as a leader, I cannot always be diplomatic. There are times where I have to put a foot down. So the Holy Spirit has to now teach me to say, no, do this. And I'm doing that, I'm cringing on this. I'm like, no, this is not me now.
That's my normal.
So that's why the Holy Spirit is so important. He helps, even our temperament, it helps balance it out. The excesses, he helps you calm down. And then where you are lacking, he helps you fill it up. And then you see that a person can be rounded. And there are people that you might not even be able to tell their temperament until you look closely. Because this person looks rounded. He's playful, he's serious, he's purpose driven, he can be meticulous, yet he can be flexible. This person can be all round. It's because the Holy Spirit has tempered their one other thing that people have, and I was talking to that guy, is this case of homosexuality, right? This is the part where people say big shout out to, I'm not big shout out to any community. I want to say it as it is, right? This community exists, and we have seen in recent times that we are in trouble. I said to someone, thank God for the gospel and what it's doing and restoring people. And the truth is, there are many testimonies of people being saved, being renewed, being changed. In fact, I have people that I'm discipling that God is bringing out of some of those things, and it's a beautiful. But one of the things that shocks me when I look at the numbers that are before us is that we do not know that we are in the middle of a pandemic. If in Nigeria today it is legal, if homosexuality gets legalized in Nigeria today, I tell people that you'll be shocked that at least one person in your family, sorry, I'm not saying, so one person in your family will come out of the closet and say, if they are not actively homosexual, they have had an homosexual experience at some point in their life. Now this is the reality that Nigerians, we just believe that because we are conservative, bro,
everybody is straight.
Now this is how it has come in. They have used the tactics of what they call it now, gaslighting. What used to be called before, okay, for example, in Nigeria now, at least for now, we can still say that it's illegal to practice homosexuality, right? So it's illegal, so nobody accepts it in society. Now in a society like America, in developed nations, if you openly castigate homosexuality, you are called homophobic. That term is a heavy term. It is similar to saying somebody is racist.
Yes.
So they have how would I explain this now? They have glorified the act so much so that the boldness to speak about it is a heinous offense. And this is how it creeps into society. So now if you're in America, you dare not. In fact, you must grow immediate tolerance for it. And now it's the new normal.
And they seem to have the confidence and the freedom to just Christianity, they can do whatever they want, they can say anything they want, like they can do things that how do I put it, should I say blasphemy or something, they are very outward with it, they are very loud with it, and it seems as if we can't even do anything. So now it's as if they are cheating us on two sides. You are doing this thing, we can't call you out. If we call you out, you term us as homophobic, you term us as being small-minded, that we are trying to we are not even practicing what we preach.
No tolerance,
God says God said judge not. But then this thing that we believe in, you are taking it for a game, you are taking it for a joke. So it's just wild.
When Pastor Nakali was saying that if they normalize,
sure, some of you are shocked. She called me Pastor Nakali. Moving on.
When you were saying that if somebody in your family, like maybe somebody they normalize homosexuality in Nigeria, someone in your family comes out to say that I will beat you. I will beat you.
So here's the thing. If it is legalized in Nigeria, you don't have if you beat the person, you go to jail.
No, it's between the family.
It's family matter.
I will beat you like this.
I saw a video, guys. It's a long time ago. They were in court. So no, it was in court or a game show. I can't even remember what it was now. It was a setting, and then the dad was standing. He has a son. The boy, or he used to have his son. So the guy had done transgender. He had, how do they call it? He had transgenderized.
Yes.
He had changed his gender. He had moved from being a man to, or he was in the process of it. So he had gone through the whole chemical surgery and everything, and his body, the whole morphology of his system was being changed. Right? When he stepped out to meet his dad, his dad broke down in tears. You could see the heartbreak, like what's going on. It's so crazy. Now look, the crazy thing about this community and the senselessness around it is crazy, because this same community, now this is what I'm trying to say, is not an attempt to justify any of them. All of them are wrong. They're in the same bandwagon, but it's like one trying to say this one is bad, me I'm good, but all of you are in the same ship. So the people that do all this LGBTQ community, right? Homosexuality, a man with a man, a woman with a woman. They have orders, that's just the peripheral. They have orders, transgender and all that. Now, these same people now fight pedophiles, people that have interest in children. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all of them are terrible.
All of them.
But the same what do you call it now? The same delusion that will make you feel like as a man it is all right to see another man. Another man.
And your hairs will be right.
Another man. Bro. The thing that will make you see another man and develop a liking and affinity for him, right? It tells you that it's not normal. In fact, the Bible tells us that because they refuse to retain God in their consciousness, God left them to the reprobate mind, to do the things that are not convenient. So we know that this thing is not convenient. Everything about it is not convenient. Everything about it is not convenient. I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about
this is a family friendly show, so I don't want to get graphic. But me, a man like me, another man like me, God will not allow it in Jesus' mighty name. Because think about it, it's not convenient.
It's not though.
It's not convenient. There's literally no good thing that can come out of it. The reason why God created, one of the major reasons why God, brought about procreation and all that, or marriage and all that, one of the major reasons is also for procreation. A woman and a woman cannot bear fruit. A man and a man cannot bear fruit. That is out. A man and a man we are both. We are you. We are. God, I
And
beg.
you know, one thing I realized about this thing is one of their delusion is, to some extent, they are still playing into God's law. Because if you will see any of this relationship, one person has to be feminine, and the other person masculine. So at the end of the day, you are still playing out the same thing.
True.
Yes.
True.
So it's always funny to me.
Have you seen when a trans man, a man, did transgender, became a woman, right? And the woman marries
A woman.
No,
What do you?
a man
That became a man.
Not me. He was a man. He transitioned to a woman. Went ahead to marry a woman. Bro, make up your mind. What do you want?
Like, what exactly do
What
you
do
want?
you want?
Pick a lane.
Pick a lane. Because if you're transgender, that means he became transgender to become lesbian. How does that make sense, bro? Like, it's crazy. It's the delusion of free will.
Yeah.
And that has been the clamor of the devil. See, man with free will. Man has always had free will, right? Man with his will unchecked. Real freedom, and let me put it this way, real freedom is to be under some sort of accountability. Accountability is the real freedom. And I say this anytime I get the opportunity to. Anybody that is not accountable to any system, any person, any organization, whenever there's no system of accountability around your life, you will stumble into untold level of decadence. See, I get the privilege to counsel people struggling with masturbation, pornography, even homosexuality. All of these things thrive in secrecy. Secrecy. And there's nobody that will come here. Nobody can stand in the middle of the day and start masturbating or start watching pornography when people are there. So everything must thrive in that secrecy, that withdrawn state when you are in isolation. So many times, once people have cut off systems of accountability and say, I can do what I want, it's my life, it's my body, I can do what I want, what I will. That is what the devil wants to implant in people, because God created every man to live. God placed the solitaries in family. God never intended for anybody to live independent of themselves. So that's the enemy's, and that's how he has crept in. Hey, do you know that Nigeria is sitting on a keg of a gunpowder? The number of, forget even mainstream, from entertainers. Recently, some time back, a list was published. How many of you saw that list?
I saw it, but I don't believe it.
You don't believe? I believe it. I don't believe all of it.
I don't believe it because one of my ministers was there. No, it's not possible. No. My minister came. No, I don't believe it.
Innocent of the proven guilty, right? So yes, agree to disagree. But why I don't believe it totally, right, is because there were some people there that I felt where probably it's not true. But
you don't know, Sha.
We don't know, Sha. Let's leave it like that. But those that I know, and those that I did not give benefit of doubt because I was not close to, it would be unfair to them if I agree with their own and then disagree because this person that I feel like I don't even know, I don't really know the person, I just know him from afar. Yes, and I know that this person should be, right? So I just realized that what that did to me was to show me that we are in trouble. We're in trouble. If those names could be boldly published, I know that it's not true when you say in every rumor there's an atom of truth. It's not true. There are some rumors that are without truth, right? But it is also true that things they sup.
Normally. Normal.
Things they sup. In fact, we are in a ticking time bomb, and there's a lot going underneath that. If you begin to hear, you begin to know, you will know that there is need for. See, we are not as safe as we think we are, and I think that's what I'm trying to say. We should not be too complacent and too comfortable. When you see an average Nigerian talk against homosexuality, he talks about it from a standpoint like we are safe. It can never be us. Bro, think again. It just takes one person to ascend power, one person that has signed a treaty with one superpower somewhere that we will legalize this and just allow me enter there. The person goes there. It takes one signature. It takes one signature. You will write bill, you protest, you write petitions and tire. That person has assented it. Those that are there will also counter protest. Those that are in that community will now have the boldness to speak because they have been legalized. And I'm saying that these things before our faces. What are the structures we have put in place?
But can I say something?
Please say.
I think whilst I agree with you, Nigerian is a very, very spiritual country, and we are very cultural.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, like, normally, outside the country, PDA is like a normal thing.
Yeah, true.
Or like dressing half naked is a normal thing. If you go and do that, like on the streets of like Lagos, the stares that you get alone, next time you wear clothes. Do you understand?
Some part of Lagos.
Some parts. Do you get? So I feel like true. What you said is true.
Yes.
But at the same time,
okay,
if it's not something like that,
I get what you're saying. But the issue is even our culture is being
deroded. It's been deroded because 10 years ago, nobody would dare say I'm a cross-dresser in Nigeria.
True, sure.
Nobody would come out and say I'm a cross. No, they no born you. No, 10 years ago was 2015. They were already. They really was there already. Sorry, I take that back. 20 years ago. 20 years ago. That was 2005. 2005.
Yes.
20 years ago. Yes. Nobody will come out to say I'm a cross. I take that back. There was Charlie Boy. Sorry, I take that back. Maybe some 50 years ago.
Even then, like people look at him as being weird. The way he dresses,
they thought he was mad.
But now he's normalized.
You know, Bobrisky has more followers than some of our pastors.
Not some.
As in, the thing
he has more than all our pastors.
I'm telling you, Bobrisky.
So the thing is, even the culture itself, children can go out of their parents' house and dress half naked, and the parent cannot call them to order. Like you walk on the street, you walk on the street. Even in this Abuja, I've seen dressings that I have to do a double take. Like, how do you have the confidence to wear this out? It's as if
it's places like Abuja and Lagos. That's that kind of thing. Come to places like Ekiti State now.
Let me ask something.
Yes.
You went to a private university, right?
Yes.
That's why. If you went to a federal university, you know that people dress half naked on campus. I know that because I didn't go to private. All my siblings went to private university. My elder ones, right? They went to private university. So I know that they had dress codes. Even if they're squishing your head, you shall have to wear that dress code. You cannot show your madness. But I mean, if you went, and maybe you're not in the north, if you went to, I had a friend. Okay, so I had a friend. Let me tell you guys the story. She went to write post UTME in Rivers State University, Port Harcourt. She used to be a church girl. She was a church girl. She's still a church girl. She's a minister, right? So she started dressing more contemporary because it was not borderline bad. But she was from SU background. So you know when you are in SU, you are now wearing trousers. You have entered the world, literally. So when she went there, what she described to me, what she described, she said, what girls that go to club wear here in the north, because I grew up in Kaduna in the north, right? What girls that go to club wear, what people that she looks up to and like, God forbid, this person, no, this girl has gone, is what church girls wear there. That's bare minimum. That's bare minimum. That's in the university.
Okay.
In the university. That she just shared her experience. She was there for like a week and all that. So she was lamenting as to how culture differs, like in the north. In the north, I had a friend that came to visit me one time. Her name is I'm not calling her. She came to visit. I had lost my dad then, so she came to do a condolence visit and all that. So she just maybe, I don't know what do. She just decided to dress a bit skimpy. I think she wore all the singlets, so part of her, there was cleavage and stuff that was exposed and I stay in Kaduna North. Kaduna North is where mostly predominantly Muslim. So I stay in the heart of Muslims. If I went Sharia, when there's a riot in Kaduna, that's where the matter starts from. But that's where we live, funny enough. And God has kept us, right? So she came there and she was walking, and my house is inside the street, and she was walking on the street. They were threatening to stone her. She had to run past that part because there's a mosque. There was a mosque close by at the junction of the street where she was going. She had to run past there because they were already making verbal slurs at her as though her life was at stake. When she came to you said, why would you dress like what this? Entered you? Because normally she's not a wayward person. Someone that I know is a cool person. She might not be all Jim, but she's a cool person. I'm like, why do you have to dress like? She just felt like where she's coming from, her own side, which is Kaduna South, predominantly Christian, it's a normal thing.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. While I know that there's a lot of hypocrisy within North and but I'm saying that cultures, right, within the same state, she had that experience, and I looked at it and I was like, wow. There are certain things that will not happen in a place, not even because people there are righteous, but because they not allow them.
Yes,
due to culture,
even our culture that we feel is deeply moral is beginning to lose its stand.
Yes,
because everybody is gaslighting everybody now. If you tell your child to do what's right, the child will video you and put it on TikTok, and online in-laws, online father and mother, everybody will come and they'll bash the parent. I'm not saying videos of people trying to correct a child and then everybody came for the mother or came for the dad. So this is what's happening now in society, and we cannot necessarily address it. It's beginning to derail, and that's why it's a case of emergency. I want to read a few comments. Ian Woodbright says, he says, fear men. Ian Woodbright, are you a man or a woman? Why what's going on? Are you for us or against us? He says they are dressing half naked on campus. So yeah, true. I mean, a lot is happening, and thank God for revivals that are breaking out, within our campuses and are bringing people back to God and all of that. And we are truly, truly grateful to God for that. I don't want to overflog the homosexuality matter, but have you had any near homosexual, or maybe any homosexual experience, maybe near toast, maybe they toast you, or
they can't though. They won't try it. They will not even try it. Personally, I feel like I've gotten a lot of comment from people that I seem intimidating a little bit. Yeah, that I'm like really uptight and all of those things. So imagine you now coming to on a normal day self, the people say that I don't seem friendly from afar. Then you now come and meet me that I like you. Well, I will slap you. But no, personally, I don't think I've had any experience like that. God will not ever allow me to see Jesus. God will not allow me to see evil.
Have you had any?
No, but I think I don't know why I always have crazy stories on this show. People will start looking at me like
brace. The last time we have not recovered from it.
Like a bad person. So when I was in school, I'm this person that I like beautiful things. Generally, just beautiful things. So there's this lady in my class. She has a very nice stature, nice body, and then she dressed very nice one particular day. So like we were just talking, I was like, oh, you look nice, blah blah blah, all of that. Like I have a crush on you. I was just saying it like, you look nice, yeah. So she was like, so later, like we just talked and covered up the conversation. So later when I got home, I was now thinking like, hey, hope this lady will not be thinking something else, because I was just like, oh, my everyday crush woman, like that, because she dressed very nice all the time, good body. So I was like, my everyday crush woman. The way she reacted, I felt embarrassed. Now, thinking about this, I can just imagine her being in this seat and someone asking her that, have you had this experience?
My God.
But I don't think she would have. Personally, if it was me, I'll just see it as a normal compliment.
So I think maybe, generations have changed. While I was in secondary school, we used to even make jokes about homosexuality, and it was nothing. I never, in fact, it was until recent that I knew that there are two guys. Now looking back now, hey, those boys.
What kind of jokes?
So for like guys now, we'll just be like, bro, no homo, and we know that we're just saying it. Nobody is really homosexual. Nobody. It was not a thing. It was a far reality. It was something that looked too far to be real. It was not something that was absorbed. It was still strange to us. But we make, because guys now always make jokes, and we're in SS2, SS3. Then you're already making all the sexual jokes with your guys. So there was nothing too much to it. But now looking back, there are two guys that I know, because one day I walked in and I saw something I didn't understand. But no, we are guys, nothing happened. I mean, we literally used to shout together. It's a wide open place. So it was not strange, right? So I didn't think too much about it. But now with what I know, thinking back, there must have been some foul. There must have been some foul play, and then it was easy to say stuff like, now if a lady, if come and is stroking your hair, this your hair is nice. Those the first time, second time, you're uncomfortable. Third I say, you wrong because you can't trust anybody, right? 10, 15 years ago, it was not like that.
Okay.
Now, my sister wrong. My sister.
Honestly,
if it's someone you don't know.
Okay.
If it's someone you don't know,
so
then
me, I'm
you
a
have
very,
to be careful.
I'm a very, I don't
know.
read too much meaning to all those kind of things like that. I would just be like, so like, maybe she was just like, somebody was recently telling me that a guy was holding his hands, like was just rubbing his hands. Me, I was not like, maybe he wanted to just warm up.
A guy?
I like to make excuses for people.
What?
Okay, so for example, I used to only sit down with my friend in church. So usually in church, when the church is cold, I'll just hold her hand. So there was a time that, as in, she was not in church, and because I'm always used to holding her hand, the next person beside me, I don't know the person, and I held the person's hand.
A lady.
So yes, it was a lady. So in her head now, she probably be thinking that was, do you get? But it was not. It was just because I always hold my friend's hand. That like maybe something, I don't know. It's just a very random thing.
I think that's another thing about what's going on. It has made us sensitive, suspicious.
She will not be thinking that maybe what? No, don't think like that. Me, I like to make excuses for when the guy was telling me that another guy was holding.
See, it's more believable for a lady, but guys are not that expressive.
Guy, you're holding my hand for what?
No.
You want to read my palm or what?
Maybe it was stairs.
Stairs for what?
Am I the emotional support animal that will help you?
Is it a stress ball?
You know, I think and I think that's why lesbianism spread first, even before the male one. Yes. Because somehow it is understandable. Women are touchy. Women are emotional. So you can see two girls being touchy and just like they're just being guys, they're just being themselves, right? But two guys, bro, I punch you. I will elbow you. This thing is for it's
for a reason.
You know, I'm telling you. And this will lead us to our next conversation, right? And the media is gonna play a video in a moment of time where a guy was talking about how sensitive this generation has become with issues of mental health and all. You know, as we journey toward the end of this, toward the last days, right? Even scripture describes it that people will become heady, hurtful, they'll become angry, they'll become disobedient to parents, they'll become malicious. There are a lot of adjectives that are used that were not nice things, but we see that people have become so woke that they have died to human feelings. He said something powerful. You're going to play that video in a moment of time, and then we'll come back to say something on that. Media, are you ready with that video? All right, please. We'll be back in a moment of time to talk about that.
What's a bad piece of advice you hear all the time?
I think people are becoming aware that this is bad advice too. So I don't think I have a unique little insight on this, but we've put so much emphasis on mental health in a like great way, like creating boundaries and do what don't always do what serves other people, but like consider yourself and so forth. And I think that's like great, but then I feel like we've overcorrected to a hyper individual. If something is tough, then you can just like, if a relationship, if a friendship or whatever, if someone's not serving you, then you can just like let it go. And it's like, no, like life is going to be challenging. The proper response is not to remove yourself from discomfort, but to learn how to exist well with discomfort, because no matter where you go, there's going to be struggle, there's going to be suffering, there's going to be discomfort. It's not so much about trying to control what you can't control, but controlling what you can control, and the things that you can't, learn to exist well with them.
Now, you see, what he said is something that has been on my mind for a while. In fact, I did a video, but I'm not sure if I got to the internet because I wasn't sure I was ready to post that video yet. I was talking about how that people have become too sensitive. Now, everybody talks about mental health now, and rightly so. We should talk about it. It's a big thing. Right? A lot of people are going through mental health issues. They're being stressed and all that. But we see that now it has become an excuse for people to do the dirtiest things, for people to become irresponsible, for people to have low tolerance, have low bandwidth to manage stress problems. It was like he rightly said, even in marriages, people check out for the weirdest reasons.
The way he pressed the toothpaste,
the way he's chewing, the way, or okay, let's even say you had an argument and you guys are not seeing eye to eye on a subject matter. It's not enough to exit something as sacred as in marriage. So, but we see that, I beg your pardon, we are creating a system or a society where people feel it's normal to just be lightweight in commitment.
Yeah.
And
no loyalty.
I mean,
no sense of tenacity.
It's terrible. This is what even leads to cancel culture. Because that's another thing I even want to talk about, right? Cancel culture and the whole. Have you ever been cancelled?
No.
Have anybody ever dragged in the comment section before? Maybe on your post.
People used to like me.
It's like your life is perfect.
People just like me.
Yeah, just lovable.
Nice one.
But I don't think so.
I remember one of the Trends episode we did, and we were dragged. My God, it felt good to be dragged, right? But what we're saying was the truth, right? I think it was when we're talking about people were, that when everybody's always coming after pastors and saying why they're building houses and building churches and all that, why they're building churches and not building factories and all that, the age-long argument and all that, and people had our heads, they were coming for our heads and all that and stuff. And it just occurred to me that, you see, cancel culture is usually a weak person's attempt to imitate strength. So this person does not have anything to fight with, and it feels the only thing he can do, because usually cancel culture happens online, on internet, right? It just feels like, I mean, sometimes if you meet the people behind the keypads that are typing the things that are putting people in great distress, you'll be shocked that this person does not deserve. So somebody that someone has been in a business or has been in a field, an industry, whatever, for 20 years and says something that someone does not agree, and a random fellow, and the person goes ahead and say you are an idiot. That's these people like you that, and you're saying, what gives you the effrontery? First of all, you can't stand where this person stands on any level. Even if you can, what gives you the effrontery to cancel people? Because this cancel culture thing has become it's a menace as it stands right now.
I think it's low self-esteem. So when you're battling with low self-esteem as a person, you always feel the need to attack. You always feel the need to show what you don't have. So when somebody that you kind of like envision yourself in, that kind of, you see, this is who I want to be. That's low self-esteem, that you've not yet gotten to that place, or envy. You just want to always attack. You just want to always fight. So I think it's just low self-esteem. And me saying that I've not been cancelled, I think is because of I have not stepped into that phase of my life where I start talking about like.
You did a video. So let me reference one of your videos that you did. There's one of the videos you did toward Valentine, where you said if you go and anybody that has sex, you're going to be pregnant, and if you say I'm the one that the people come for you in the comment section.
So I think by the grace of God, I've been able to build a community of people that are aligned with what I am. So everybody was like, yes, they agree and all of that. We cannot be feeling cold. You're not gonna be. And no, you get pregnant. So everybody was like, yes, that kind of thing.
So I think it's usually because, for example, like you now, you are, like you said, you are still in the safe zone.
Yeah.
The moment you begin to step, and I know where they are. Are you on Twitter?
No, active.
Good year. They need you there. So that when you step on a few Twitter X is
I know.
I think that's the whole idea of the name X. They'll cancel you. They cancel, and I've learned that while it might have physical effects, right? Trolls and all that. When people troll you and people drag you, it might have physical effect. It might ripple down into physical things, right? But I also realize that sometimes that's just all it is.
That's it. I'm telling you, I feel like me personally, if I'm trolled online, as in, it will not affect me, because I know that if I see you see me, I will beat you. You
have confidence in your power, man.
I don't have.
You have been trending to beat you.
Honestly, this is the third time.
I'm telling you.
That's just the thing, when you constantly say something, people will not be scared. I promise I cannot lie. I don't even have strength. If something happens and there's like maybe somebody is threatening, I can even beg you, please, I beg, don't touch me.
This thing that you talked about beating made me remember when I was very young in primary school. So there's this guy that is always bullying me, like small children thing. I'll give me a knock on my head, push me around. So it just got to this point. I was fed up and I didn't have any power then. So that day he just did something. I think he gave me a knock on the head or something. And I used to watch film with my brothers, all this kung fu kind of thing. So as he did that, I was like, I'm going to fight you. So there were a couple of people around in class. So I dropped my bag and I started doing this thing. You know what they used to do?
Exactly.
So I started cracking my bones, frowning my face.
As if they wanted to fight.
Yes. And the guy was, at first, he was making mouth and everything. So when he saw me doing this, he was like, this guy can fight. I can't fight nothing.
Exactly. Just give people the illusion
yes.
that you have
So
strength.
he had to, he ran away that day. And since then,
he never came
he
back.
never came
That's
back.
like my
Yeah.
go-to because
Honestly.
me, I grew up
So
in
what
Port
would have
Harcourt.
happened if he
would
wanted
have-
to fight?
Hi.
For beats.
You will
For
beat
beats.
because I cannot do it. I don't even know how that spirit entered me. Maybe I watched a movie before that. I don't understand. I was just like, I was cracking my neck, cracking my hand. In my mind, I was like, I will chop it today.
But you scared him over the end.
Yes,
So I
yes.
was about to say that's like a go-to thing. Yeah, because I grew up in Port Harcourt, yeah, and in Port Harcourt, yeah, like violence is a very violent state.
Yeah.
I mean, our former governor.
Well,
Man, as in like,
well.
the apples did not fall far
Fall
from
from
the tree.
I can imagine.
Exactly. So in Port Harcourt, they used to chance people a lot. But one of the things that I noticed there is that they know who they can chance. They know who they can like collect your phone and all of those things. They look at you and they see that this one I can intimidate you.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I just used to do is that I make myself seem like I'm intimidating.
Yeah.
So you cannot talk to me. Do you get? It's just a way of just like it's a facade.
Putting up a
just,
front,
Yeah.
yes.
So at the end of the day, I know you do anything, you know, but at the end of the day, you are scared of
I
me.
think I know.
Yeah.
It's a coping mechanism, right?
Yes,
I grew up in the north, so violence. You know, violence is in levels. Northern violence is on.
I give it to you guys.
So you see, I've by privilege, I've lived in the southwest, which is the Yoruba speaking part of Nigeria. I've lived in the north. I think I've only not lived actively in the southeast, which is the eastern part of Nigeria now. So, but I realized the difference between two of them. All of them like violence, or they like showing. But you see, when the Yoruba man is arguing with you, they will scream. In fact, all those guys at the park, they will shout on each other, scream, but nobody's throwing a punch.
Insults.
Nobody's ever going to.
Yes.
In fact, if you are there, you'll be like, it's about to go down. And at the end of the day, it ends as just banter. Who has the loudest voice wins. Who can insult? Who has the deepest insult?
Insult is
that
the
they can
weapon.
insult you to your grandmother. That would
your lineage.
That's all. But you see, in the north, it's a different ball game. They don't shout, they act. You start with the insult.
They'll finish it.
Before you say Jack Robinson, somebody has brought out a knife. It's not
I'm
so
telling
much.
you.
I was watching on TikTok. I was watching a video, I think today or yesterday. This prank that people used to do.
Yes.
That they'll like maybe scream in front of you or something.
Yes.
So this guy walked up to I don't know if this is the right time to say a aboki.
Okay, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So the guy walked up to an aboki and did as if he wanted to give him a punch. And so at first the man ran away and he was chasing after him. The aboki just turned back and brought out
a knife.
It was the prank guy that started running. I was like, from where to where?
Yes,
you are bringing out weapon already.
I thought that it was a joke that they used to say when in Abuja that all these bike
yes,
people that
yes.
till
Have
I
you
saw it
experienced
myself. I saw it myself.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, I saw it myself. Like they were fighting before you know, Baba don't carry knife.
And it's usually
like,
curved.
I'm telling you, like I was like, why? It
Let
doesn't
me
go
share.
to that stage.
Let me share one of my robbery experience. I've been robbed before, not on the streets. So we had a church event. I went and then it was raining, and then you know when it rains in Nigeria, they have to dry the pool. The pool has to be off, so they have to put up the light. I'm just making an excuse for the NEPA. It's not their fault. They had to put up the lights, right? So because of the rain, we couldn't get a vehicle on time. So it was about 10 to 11 thereabout. And like I said, you know, it's a long walk from the streets, from the junction to my house. So it was a lonely walk. It rained. There was no lights, so everybody had gone inside. No light. So in my street, my close, we had police in our close. We used to hire police, not checkpoint.
Okay.
We hired police to mount
for
the mountain
security.
there.
Okay.
So I was working with 3 other ladies because we attended service together. So I escorted all of them to their houses. They all entered. It was now leaving. In fact, they were like, they are seeing. One of them told me that she's seen 2 guys behind us, and she doesn't. She's suspecting their movement. That I should stay by the balcony at their house and allow them pass. After a while, then I'll go. I can just run home, because once I get to my junction, it was not so long, maybe like 2 minutes walk to my own close. Police is there. Any police there. So I was like, no, don't worry. Food with Holy Ghost. Food with Holy Ghost of power.
Macho man.
My God. So I was tired. I wanted to just go home and over. And I just knew, I felt like I was not going to be robbed. I couldn't be robbed. I was conscious of the presence of God. That's not to mean that I got robbed. God was not there. It's me that was not serious. Right? So I went, and as I was going, you know that no way. I just knew. I said, shit, I'm about to be robbed. They were behind me. I was not seeing them, but I was feeling that they were already talking. I was wearing a suit jacket and jeans and a shirt inside. As they just tapped me, I was at the verge of turning to my area, and I knew that once I get there, police is there. Anyhow, they'll touch. The first thing they'll do is that they'll shine their torch, and those guys will run away. So as I just took that step, I turned. No police. Shit. Even me in the speed, I just turned. Yes, what do you want? So the guy quickly brought out a knife. The knife brushed me. The knife, that knife, if they choke you that knife, it will spoil your destiny. The knife is not straight. The knife is rough. So if they choke you, bring you out, you can't survive it, because it would have ruptured things. It won't do a clean cut. It's not like it just choke you bleed. No, that is not bleeding. No, it will rupture your inner organs. The knife was structureless. Just small brush. I was bruised.
Wow.
I just hands up. Take what you want. They took my phone, checked my pocket. They didn't see anything. They just pushed me and ran away. I said, how do I go and tell that I'm coming from church and they robbed me? It was painful, but it just occurred to me that these things are real. So violence in the north is a different ball game. So then, if I'm walking in an unfamiliar territory and I know that this area, you're not supposed to be walking in the areas, you're not supposed to be walking there. There's a way. I'm sitting, so I don't have to show. I can't show you guys how I walk, but there's a way to do it. So you lean back. There's a way you look. And then you start drawing.
Yes.
So those of us from the north, you be like, Baba Yane, you have to say Baba Yane, make it happen. You have to start talking like them. Before you know, they will shake you. You guys will be like, guys, I know you pass. Because if you do like Jew,
that's just
our eyes have seen. I mean, it's crazy. It's a total different ball game. It's a total. Before we wrap up, would you want to talk about the giveaways? Because before we get to the end of this show.
Yes. We talked about a giveaway, I think, last week, that we want to reward. And also, before I talk about the giveaway, our viewers that are online at this moment, please, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe right now.
Yes. Do that. That's what qualifies you to be part of.
Yeah. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and also please share. Anytime you join, share to your network, share to your friends. Let them also enjoy what you are enjoying. So back to the giveaway. I explained last time, but I'll also do a recap right now. So I want to give out gifts to our loyal viewers, just to say thank you for being with us all the time. So here is how it works. We'll ask a question at every show. We'll ask you a question. So the number, I think we'll have the number pop up, or we'll put it in the comment or the description or something. We'll do that later. So we'll ask a question. You send your answer to the number, and we'll ask a question every episode. So at the end of the month, we'll pick the person with the highest point.
Can I participate?
No. Wow. No, you cannot.
Na man wey no man dey do.
No, you cannot. So I want to read out the question for today. Yeah. So question number 1, very simple. We are very nice. When did Ambience TV officially start broadcasting? So that's the question.
Thank God I'm not even participating, because even myself, I'm trying to remember. I know.
Okay.
I know. If you bribe me well enough, I'll think about it.
So yeah, that's the question. Drop it in the number. We are going to put it in the comments. We'll pin it in the comment box or in the description, whichever one. So you can drop your answer, and then another question the next time will come. Then on the last episode of the month, we'll announce the winner and give you the beautiful gifts that we'll have for you.
My God.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it's something mouth-watering, something amazing. And by the way, if Adiola, you have someone that is giving big ups to you. Someone says, big shout out, Adiola, your skin is glowing.
Honestly.
I've been on this show for almost a year.
Sorry, yeah.
Please put the camera on my face. I can never do such a thing. I've been on this show for almost a year. You will not see my skin.
No,
it's not glowing,
your skin is glowing.
It's glowing the Lord. So,
she's
man, we no
trying to
man, I ain't a
console
do man.
you. She's consoling you.
Wisdom Rave, God bless you. And yes, I mean, we have to attest to it. Your skin is glowing. Whenever it is, I think you need to give us those skincare routines. I see them on
let
your
us
page.
know.
By the way, how can people contact you to check you up and see the things you do?
My Instagram handle, the Adepoju Adeola.
Okay.
On Instagram.
No space, right?
No space.
The Adepoju Adeola.
Yeah, and on TikTok too, the Adepoju Adeola. Yeah.
You should give her a follow, and you would have opened yourself up to amazing content. Trust me.
You get my head is sweating.
No, but then it's true. You know, it's true.
Thank
Somebody
you
say I'm
so
trying to
much.
dada. You Wisdom Rave, I'm coming for you. It's my hair you are noticing. You don't notice my skin. Yes, I'm trying to dada my hair. That's the new normal. Hallelujah.
No, please.
Oh my God. It's been such an amazing conversation.
Yeah.
I mean we can go on and on and all that. But you see, as a matter of final note, I know that Adiola, you're a abstinence advocate, if you would say that, right? So as a matter of final note, what would be that if you would say something in 2 minutes? What would you, as a counsel to someone watching this, someone that will stumble on this and all that, what would be your counsel?
Okay, so for I think the most important thing to know is that whenever you want to start your abstinence journey, wherever it is that you're coming from, and you fall, pick yourself back up immediately, because that's where the devil attacks. The moment you fall, you start saying that can I do this, can I do that, I feel like I can't go to God again, I'm so sinful, I can't pray and all of that. Pick yourself back up and start praying. Continue doing whatever it is that you used to do. Don't run away from God. Do not go away from his presence, because that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They will now run away from God rather than running back to God. So wherever it is that in your journey you feel like you're even at the point where you are helping other people to get to where you are, you have gotten to that point where you feel like you cannot fall and you fall, pick yourself back up. I think there's a verse on that the man falls 7 times.
Even if the righteous fall
7 times, he will rise up again. You will not fall up to 7 times, but pick yourself back up. So that's what I would say on that.
Solid. I love what you said. You said something that really resonated with me. How that many times where the devil is waiting for you is not even in the sin, it's the aftermath of the sin. That cessation from God that you initiate, because mind you, even when you sin, God does not run away from it. It is you most times that run away from him. It's you that feels too dirty to communicate with him. When Adam and Eve sinned, God came looking for them. He knows all things. They had sinned, but he came looking for them still. And he asked, where are you? And they said, we had sinned, right? They were the ones running from him. They said that we hid ourselves. And that's the same pattern mankind keeps falling in that loop. And like you said, just as it is on every other journey, on being on all expression of your holiness and righteousness, not lying, not cheating, not stealing, no matter where you're coming from, now you're a believer and you're trying to do it right. There are times where you slip up. Never stay there. Never stay there. In fact, addictions happen when people make mistakes, feel too dirty to go back to God and stay in the mistakes, and they get so muddled up in that mistake, and then it becomes their new identity. It happens over and over and over. You will never find succor outside God. So don't run from God, run to God. That was so profound. Thank you so much, Adiola. If as a matter of final thoughts.
Okay, final thoughts. I would just like to say, I think we mentioned this during the show, that this is not to put up a front of holiness or to castigate anybody. Like, we understand that we are flesh, and this hormones was put there by God. So it's normal. Apostle will say, Apostle will say, if as a man, because he's a man, as a man, if you've never felt the urge throughout your life, like at any point, then there's a problem. So the fact that you feel the emotion does not make you a sinner. What you do with it is what matters. So don't feel down just because you feel this urge or because you are tempted. That is because you are alive. All you have to do is to channel your emotion. If you notice, like, note the things that trigger it. So if there are some certain books that you read, or some certain music that you listen to, or some people that you move with that kind of drive the urge up, then you might have to separate yourself from them and just do all you can do to get yourself on the right path. Because abstinence is not just about making a choice that as a woman I want to keep myself for my partner. That's a part of it, but it's a law. Like, this is what God asks us to do. So when you have this mindset, it will guide everything you do. Like, I'm not just doing this for doing sake. I am actually obeying God. And because I love God, because I understand to some extent everything God has done for me. So the little that I can do to give back to God, we can never repay God. There's nothing we can do. But the little that we can do just to show that we love God as an act of service. So if you can see it as an act of service unto God, like, I am keeping myself in accordance to your word until I get to the institution where you have made so that's just my advice.
Powerful. And profound. If I would say one thing that really stood out for me, environment, how the environment it plays a vital role in the experiences of people. Things that trigger people to go back to the things that they are trying to for example, I once spoke with a lady that was in a relationship with a guy, and they were not married, of course, they were just in a relationship, and they were having sex, but they were both believers. They both loved God. They both loved each other, and they wanted to eventually get married. They really wanted to get married, but this thing had happened. And you see, the problem with premarital sex is that if it happens once, it will take the grace of God and a lot of take a lot of accountability, discipline. It will take a lot, just to put it that way, to not do it again. So they had done it, so it was difficult to not do it. So even when they had gone to seek accountability and all that, it became a real struggle that, thank God for accountability, they had to make both of them pathways for a while, right? Eventually, when they were able to manage their emotions, because sometimes it's just your emotions on rampage, right? It's just, and most of these things, they are time bound. There's something that the devil is trying to change. It's a whole lot, but so once you can manage it, you can now be trusted to say, okay, this relationship can continue and all that. So there are certain people that are in your life that might be the reason why you might find yourself there again. If you need to cut off for a while, you have to. If that's what will help you, cut off. There are certain movies. In fact, you can tell yourself that I'm no longer going to see movies. There was a scene in my life when I noticed that I had an addiction to movies. I was growing an addiction to movies. Like, if I'm staying not doing anything and I'm not seeing a movie, I feel like and those things come when you are hooked on a series. Series.
That's why I don't like watching
series can mess you up.
You'll be thinking about the next thing that's going to happen.
Especially when it's now something that is dramatic. No, it's really captivating, right? And so I had to give up movies for about, I can't remember exactly, but maybe more than 3 months. Imagine 3 months for someone that was watching movies every day, back to back. It was a lot. It was almost as though I had withdrawal. See, I'm telling you, like, I'll just be like, what am I doing in my life? I'll be uncomfortable. But over time, I got over it, and I can now watch movies. I know that I'm not addicted to it. Then when I hear people say that I'm too busy to watch movies, I'll say, it's pride. It's a lie. It's not true. Until now. Sometimes I can watch a movie for 2 weeks, start, sleep off, because that's the only time you have. It's like, and you realize that, okay, as you get busier, as you get to do more things, you will have less time for all these things.
Honestly.
Yeah, sorry to cut in. This thing that you said made me remember something that Apostle said. It was like, I think it's in the Bible, and that is where God was telling the Levite, the priest, that they should keep fire on the altar.
Yes.
That fire must always be on the altar to keep it burning. So that's another thing that will help in this kind of situation.
Yes.
Don't be idle. Keep busy.
Yes.
And the busyness has to be something that will help your spirit overcome the desires of the body or the flesh. So you can have a music, a worship running in the background. You can have a message, because it will take a certain level of should I say addiction, that a message will be playing in the background and you still be watching something, maybe a pornography or something. So if you get to that level, that's like advanced, and you have to seek.
That's advanced.
You have to but on a norms, if your mind is occupied, then the devil won't have a way to make suggestions. So just keep busy as much as you can.
Very, very true. Very, very true. And my final thoughts, right, to believers out there: you're not doing anything wrong by abstaining.
Yes.
Don't let anybody gaslight you.
Don't
out
let
of
them
doing what
tell
is
you
right.
anything.
They wish they were you.
Yeah.
I promise you, they wish they were you. And it doesn't matter if you've had things in the past that were not right and now you're trying to make your way right. Stay on it. Insist. God can help you through the journey. It is Him that is able to keep us from falling. It is still Him that works in us both to will and to do. It is Him. It is like cheat code. God is the one that tells you do it, and He's the one that will help you do it. So all you need to do is to take advantage of the grace of God that is made available to you, and stand, right? And God is holding your hand. And if you're listening and maybe you have slipped up, even recently, maybe you just even slipped up and you are watching this now, and you feel like, I don't qualify for what these guys are saying. No. The grace of God still reaches out to you, right? And He can help you, He can enable you, He can empower you, and we are praying for you, and it can only get better. Abstinence is not a scam. It is God's will for us. We will do it. We will keep ourselves. We will encourage our generation to do so. We will pass it down. We will hand it down even in the midst of a perverse generation. And the counsel of God will stand. It's been an amazing, amazing and rich conversation in the studio today. What do we say to Adela? Thank you so much. With your glow. Thank you for the glow.
I'm so happy to be here. You guys have no idea. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I mean, for all that you do, and like I told you, I binge watched your stuff. I mean, amazing stuff. Thank you. Please don't stop. Keep it up. God will strengthen you.
I'll not stop.
I can never turn back. It's already too late. All right, from all of us at the studio on Trends today, we'll see you on Thursday. Now, let me give you a little sneak peek into what we have to talk about on Thursday. Now, we'll be doing a full movie review on the just released Prophet Suddenly Part 3. Right? Now, there's been a lot of discussions already raising dust, right? So we're going to bring a lot of perspective to it and garner wisdom and lessons from it. So you don't want to miss that. Put it in your calendar. Mark it. 12:30, we are live on Ambience TV. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, what are you waiting for? Please do that. It doesn't cost a dime. It just costs a press. Just press subscribe.
Honestly.
Bell. I mean. Click the notification bell, and so that you can get notified whenever we are live. And I'll see you on Thursday. God bless you.